Hi everybody. It is day 6 of my post-op and I went back for my second drain to be taken out, and it's super easy. So here's one thing I want to say about the drains. I was super scared about them, and I know I talked about it the other day, but I was really worried about them just because I've never had drains. I've never had anything like that. So I was a little worried that it would hurt having them taken out and having the stitches cut or anything. It's no big deal. It's literally like a tiny little pinch to cut the stitch, and then they tell you take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. When you take your deep breath out, they pull it out, and there's only like this much in there. So it was no big deal. Way better than I thought it would be. So don't worry about that part. And by the time it's time for them to come out, you're just like, get them out. So I got that out today, and I feel much better. I can put a regular sports bra on, a regular t-shirt on, and not have to have this bulge hanging out. Had to go to volleyball yesterday with like one-sided, lump and one-sided not. Anyway, so I said yesterday, I did an Instagram video, and I said yesterday that it makes you have a whole new appreciation for people who have to have a bag or some kind of apparatus that goes underneath their clothing that they have to hide. Not that any of that is bad or anything, because I chose to do this, but it just gives you a whole different appreciation for having to accommodate, your clothing and your life and your sleeping and all these things to this outside thing. Anyway, so I just have to wear a really tight sports bra. All of my incisions, I showed you, are underneath. And so they have steri strips on them, and they'll stay that way until I go back in 2 weeks. So I'm good to go. I keep forgetting that it's only 6 days post-op. I have been super busy this week, and so I think I've worn myself out. I will be honest, yesterday I had a really bad headache. I don't know if it was from our weather here changing. We have a pressure system coming in, I heard on the radio. So maybe that was the headache cause. Who knows? I still have a slight headache today, but it's nothing like yesterday. And then I had some nausea yesterday, and I don't know if it's my body starting to detox, which could be causing the headache and causing the nausea. It could have been something I ate. I don't know. I know my body is going through a huge transformation and getting rid of all of this stuff that it's having to get rid of. And so I know I'm going to have days that are not perfect, and I don't want to pretend like they're going to be perfect. But here's the thing. I still feel good. Even though my stomach hurt yesterday, even though my head hurt so bad that I wanted to just lay down, my body felt good. I did not feel tired. I did not feel sore. I didn't have a backache. I did take Tums because I said the other day I didn't have heartburn, but yesterday I just thought maybe that'll settle my stomach. It didn't work, so I think it was not related. But so today I'm just being very careful with what I eat. I'm not eating anything that's super spicy or anything like that. Just kind of giving my belly a break. I think now that my body is having to absorb all that fluid, because my pockets are still there. So let me adjust the camera just a touch for you. So on the outside of your where your implants are, they sew those pockets up, but obviously the fluid, they want that to flatten back out. So it's where your muscle and your body is, and they want that to flatten back out and your muscle to adhere and stay that way. Well, once they take those implants out, then not the implants, the drains, then your body wants to hang on to that fluid. So your body has to absorb it. So I don't know if maybe yesterday it kind of made me just feel a little sick. I'm not sure, but because I had my left side drain taken out on Monday. So who knows? It's just a lot. So I'm not going to pretend like I felt great yesterday. I had a little bump in the road, but it's going to happen. But overall, I still feel good. I still don't have all those same symptoms that I had. So having a few minor things is fine because it doesn't compound with all the other stuff I had. I have seen a 7-pound loss in weight, and I'm not doing anything. I'm eating the exact same way I was, probably a little bit more dairy than I was, and so I'm going to back off that again just to give my body a little bit of time to go, okay, we might be eating normal again. And I'm not working out, obviously. I'm doing my normal everyday routine stuff, taking my kids to gymnastics and volleyball and all the things they do, but I'm not like walking my dog or anything, like that. So I have just lost all of this. It's inflammation. I can feel it in my arms. My clothes fit different. My jeans fit different. My legs are not swelling. Every day I had arm swelling, leg swelling, belly, just puffiness everywhere. And it was an uncomfortable feeling. It wasn't because I was eating bad. It wasn't because I was doing anything that was causing it. It just was. And so now that's gone, or it's going away. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that my body is responding well. So what I learned today is that when you have your implants and after your drains are gone, because my immediate question was, I'm itching to get physical. I want to work out. I want to do something. I want to walk my little dogs or whatever. If you've never watched this, we have 2 little puppies that are wild, and they need a lot of energy release. Right now they're sleeping, thank God. But and then we have a 70-pound Ruddy mix. So we try to walk them every day. Well, I can't do that right now. So they're going stir crazy. I'm going stir crazy. So here's his explanation for why you can't just start doing all your stuff, because you have your body wall right here, then you have your pocket, your muscle, and here is your inner space that we've just taken your drain out. So now your body wants to hang on to that, because when the drain is in there, it closes down because it's draining all that fluid out. Well, once you take that drain out, then it's going to want to fill up. So you want to keep it flat. So I have a tight sports bra on, and I actually need a tighter one. It's tight up here, but it needs to be really tight. I feel like it's not squishing like it should. So I'm going to go put on a smaller one. Just because I don't want to mess anything up. I was the person who wore a sports bra for 10 years to bed. God bless my husband, but for 10 years with my implants, I never went without a bra unless I had an outfit on that just didn't warrant wearing one. But I always had one on. I wanted them to look good and stay looking good for as long as they could. And so I want to do the right thing with my recovery as well, because I want it to be the best recovery it can be. So back to why you can't just start working out. Even though I feel good, my muscles are still sore. Like to push out of my chair, I can't do. I can't pick up my little dog that's over 10 pounds. The one that's under, I can, but the one that's over, I can't. To get in the car and try to scoot yourself over and use that muscle still hurts. So it is only 6 days. I have to slow my brain down and tell myself, sit down and relax. Let yourself heal. I am not a good patient when it comes to that. I am a busybody and do a lot of stuff. So I have to remind myself that my body is in a lot of freak out mode is the wrong word, because it's not freaking out, but it's got a lot to get rid of, a lot to repair. Plus I've had this surgery that I have sutures and wounds and stuff that need to repair. So all that to say, back to the pockets. So you have this, your body, and then you have your muscle wall that they have taken your implant out right here. If yours were behind the muscle, mine was. And so then you have this fluid right here that wants to collect. So the reason why you wear that bra and you cannot go walking or whatever is because he said, when you do that, you make this shimmy basically with your wall and your muscle, and you want that to close down. Well, when you start doing this and it starts moving, then it wants to fill up with fluid. Then, of course, you get an abscess or you get a pocket of fluid that you don't want there. So he said the way you're going to know, ladies, is that one side is going to fill up more than the other, and you're going to be like, hey, that looks good. It's not the good kind of good. You don't want it to look like you had an implant again. You want it to stay flat. You want it to stay whatever size you were when you came out of surgery, even though you're probably a little swollen. But every day they look better, which is great. You can tell every day that the muscle is going back to where it's supposed to and everything is laying down like it's supposed to. So that's why it was a great explanation as to why I can't just go out there and walk a couple miles and do whatever I want to do, because I still have some healing to do. So I asked him how long that would last, and he said, till I see you again. So wear a tight sports bra. Do not do anything crazy. You can walk, but just be careful until I see you again on the 16th, so 2 weeks from today. So anyway, I still feel good. My anxiety level, my breathing, my just anxiousness inside is gone. I don't feel out of patience with my kids. I was trying to think of the right word, but I don't feel out of patience with my kids. Sometimes, like this morning, they were running late, and I wasn't just like, come on, come on, come on. It was like, okay, girls, we've got to go. You know what time? You're going to be late for school. And that was it. So it's nice not to have this anxiousness, and then to have these 2 little doggies that are like having twins. I get anxious with them. I get frustrated, and it's been better. So I know, like I said, there's going to be up and down days. But here's what I told a friend the other day, and this is what I'm going to leave you with. For anyone who's deciding to do this or worried about doing this, or should I do this? If you're having all the symptoms that I had, I'm not saying your implants are causing it. Each to each his own. You know your body and you know what could be right. But for me, this was the last thing that was not right with my body. This was the last thing that I could do to fix myself other than just trying to be very diligent. But I was near perfect before I took my implants out. I ate next to nothing when it comes to a variety. I was on a very strict protocol. And when it comes to all the supplements I was taking everything I could, and my iron level was still in the dumps. So I already feel like some of that is fixing itself. My hormones were a wreck. I mean, just every part of my body was freaking out because of this foreign object that it was attacking. So I told my friend the other day, and I said, this may sound weird. And if you take it weird, I don't mean it that way. And that's you, not me. But to see myself now, I'm comfortable with what I'm left with. 100%. Do they look the same? No, but I knew that going into that. And I didn't have an emotional tie to what my implants gave me. Sure, in the beginning I liked them, but then they had kind of became just something that wasn't me anymore. So I'm okay with what I'm left with. But the other thing is to be able to, obviously I've had to feel them because I have to touch my scars and sutures and things like that. And my, doing my, what do you call it thing? My drain. I was going to say my pump, and it's not, it's a pumping stuff out. But just to feel that they're real. They're mine. They have feeling back in them, because when you get a lift, I had a lift initially. Sorry, my nose itching. I had a lift initially. You lose a lot of sensation because they cut around your nipple. So you lose a lot of that sensation. And then there's a nerve that I've learned doing all this that runs from like the side of your breast to your nipple. Well, when they do an implant, it can press on that nerve and make everything numb. So there's feeling there now that I haven't had for 10 years. So it's nice that you feel normal again. And then someone the other day said to me that you look like you feel good. I finally feel like myself again. I feel like I'm not walking next to myself anymore. Like it's not an out of body kind of feeling. It's very much, I'm here, I'm present, I understand what's going on. I don't feel confused. I don't feel lost. For years, I've had to sit with my iPad right here on and put it in my ear to keep myself from getting distracted. I was so distracted. And this whole week, I've been able to work and be very effective and not have to do that because I don't feel distracted. I don't feel a mess in my head. And so it's just nice to feel like yourself, and then to physically feel like yourself, to feel yourself and there be feeling there and they are you and there's nothing else in there. It just is good. And so if I can leave you with any message about this, or if you should do it, you know your body. You know what you're going through. You know what you're struggling with. If it is your last resort, if you are to the point like I was, that my whole body reacted every day to something because of them, I'm just saying I've gotten so much better because of taking them out that it had to be them. Then do it. If you're questioning, pray about it. If you're not sure, pray about it. If your husband is uncertain, let him see what you go through daily. My husband said, as long as you're well, I don't care what you're left with. I love you for you, and I want you to be well. End of story. It doesn't matter. I loved you before you got them. It doesn't matter what you're left with physically, because emotionally, you'll be better off. Physically, you'll be better off because you're going to feel better. So if that's the one message I can leave you with, is think about it that way. Don't think about what you're losing. Think about what you're gaining. You're gaining a whole new life again. I feel like I lost the last 5 years of my life being sick and being physically burdened by how I felt and burdening my family. I mean, my husband, it broke my heart to hear my husband tell a friend that my illness is a burden. I'm like, I don't want to be a burden on my family, but it was. We couldn't go out to eat without me having to choose what we ate, where we ate, everything, because everything I ate caused a reaction. And so just remember, you're not losing implants and all these womanhood and whatever they define for you. You're gaining a whole new life. And maybe it's a better life than what you're experiencing right now. For me, in 1 week, by far it has been. So anyway, thanks for following my journey. I'm going to continue to update you as I go. And hopefully as I go, more symptoms will get better that I still kind of have. And I'll just continue to educate you as I go through this, because this is new to me too. So pray about it if you're deciding what to do. It's a good thing, I promise.